I think I'll be on there. If I'm not on there, I'm actually...
Let me go a little bit here.
Zoom out a little bit.
Then.
Hey Mauro.
Hello.
Thanks
Welcome.
for having me.
No, it's a pleasure.
You are hosting me here in the Italian Bonsai Dream.
Exactly. That's my dream, my friend.
So is that where the name comes from?
No, actually, the name comes from a T-shirt that when I was playing rugby, I was used to wear during the parties.
Okay.
And I was the Italian Dream myself. Now not anymore. Now my trees are my Italian Dream.
Wow. Now for people that don't know where the Italian Bonsai Dream is.
So we are north of Venice, 1 hour north of Venice. The main town here is Feltre, but actually we are in Pedavena, that is a little town, like satellite town of Feltre. Beautiful, feet of the Dolomites here. Best weather for bonsai.
He says beautiful, but if you're not used to driving, the last bit from Feltre to here really makes you realize we are in the foothills of the mountains here.
Yeah, it's the foothills. Yeah, and yeah, this is our family house. The main one in the property is our family house since early 1900, and this is my new house with the new garden.
Cool. I must say I arrived here. I was a little bit lost. And you told me, just look for the house where the small trees are.
Exactly.
That's a little bit of a joke because small trees and Mauro don't go together really. You can see here in the background, these are some of the smallest trees that he has. And here's another final family member.
Yeah, Dorothea.
Dorothea. Hi Dorothea. Mauro, I was wondering, you've been teaching hundreds of students. Now, if you were to talk to somebody who's very new in the hobby, just starting off, what would you recommend on what's important to do when you start with bonsai?
So I always say this, find as many information as possible, get as many classes with different people as possible. Don't only choose one bonsai master. If you want to get a general knowledge, do workshop with many people. They will all give you their own version of the story.
Yep.
Right? And learn how to grow trees. Before learn how to style trees, how to cut trees, how to repot trees, you have to learn how to grow trees. That's very, very important.
So basically keep them alive first.
Exactly.
You know how to
That's
keep them
very
alive.
important. Because I was lucky enough to start with the local club and with some older members, they took me when I was 14 as a kind of a mascot of the club, and they give me a lot of little trees, and I had at least 10 years just growing small stuff and learning, how to keep them alive, how to, take care of them and get them strong. And now I can work with world-class trees and I can collect incredible material and get them to the stage to become a beautiful trees because I was there one day.
Okay. So that's when people are just beginning. Now you see a lot of people who are quite advanced in bonsai. They come for advanced classes. You have the International Bonsai School, of course, that you're running classes with. What is the number one skill that you see more advanced people lacking?
So the technical skill is a lot, we talked earlier, is about wiring. A lot of people struggle with this technical skill, and it's very important to learn how to proper wire the tree.
Also, if the tree just stands in my garden?
Yeah, because it's a way how to respect the tree. You cannot wire a tree and then 3 or 4 branches die just because bad wiring and bad bending and the wire is not doing its job, right? Sometimes, some wire bites in, you see here, and the branch get a weird color because it's not able to send back. And the other thing is overall you want to learn how to wire, so you learn when it's not time to wire. Because in the long range you don't want to wire the tree. You don't want to style the tree over and over. You have to create trees that are self-efficient. I call them self-efficient, so they will stand in position with the minimum amount of wire. But if you cannot go through all the process of first styling, second, third styling, and every time use less wire to position, you will never get to a bonsai.
well, how long does it take a tree from raw material to become a bonsai?
In Europe, I would say you are really lucky or really good if you can make it in 10 years.
Yeah, so for me that's just reaching that point.
Yes.
That first 5 year, I'd say, people are just learning what is bonsai.
Yeah.
And then you take another 10 years, you understand what bonsai is, where you want to go, and then it takes at least 10 years. So my tree should now be getting to the point that I can take the wire off and leave the wire.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, bonsai is not the hobby for everyone. You need to be very passionate and also very down to the art to do bonsai, because you have to get a good understanding of shapes and everything. And it's not for everyone, I would say. It's not, you can grow some trees and more or less everyone can do it. But when we get into this art of bonsai, that means create something that has the beauty as a part of the, outcome of the, general composition, that's something very specific and is not for everyone.
So for you, bonsai really has an art component.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's always
I
this
do
discussion.
bonsai for the art of bonsai. That's my main goal. Because since I started with bonsai, my main goal was to have a good collection. And was also to be able to get a material and transform into a beautiful tree. That was my main goal.
Okay. Now, in general, what does bonsai mean to you?
That's funny, because the other day I was in Milan for the Crespi Cup, and a nice couple of people, the guys from Italy and the ladies from Russia, and they have a bonsai club in Russia, in Moscow. They said, "What is bonsai for you?" And I give you the same reply, because it never changed. For me, bonsai is life. I cannot imagine my life without bonsai. I cannot live one day of my life without doing bonsai or thinking about my trees or thinking about what I would like to do or doing something related to bonsai. Don't exist a day of my life. It's not like I go on holiday and I forget this. No, it's impossible.
And by now you just live bonsai, right? Because before you started doing bonsai as a full-time professional.
Yeah, I still do some help people with architecture and everything. I just finished doing my house, but I dedicate basically all my time to bonsai.
Because I think this is something that many people might not realize. You have created this bonsai museum, you call it, but it is also just your backyard.
Yeah.
And the family dog comes passing by. Your wife helps you move the trees around when you have to. How do you combine that? Because I follow you on social media, I run into you every once in a while at bonsai shows. You're away a lot. How does that work out?
I'm a very active person, so I'm not like just sleeping in the morning and whatever. So I wake up at 6 o'clock, do my things, do everything. And I have a guy actually who helped me, Mirko, that is here every morning. And he takes care of maintenance, watering, fertilizing, especially when I'm not home, because I'm traveling a lot of time. And he does a great job. He's with me already. He was my student in the past. Then he moved to Spain to have an experience there. And then he came back. And since he came back, basically, he's helping me with the garden. So now it's been like 4 years already. And he was into all the process of building this place, putting all the trees together, and now taking care of the place. And for me, it's really my right and left arm, because again, I'm not home, and I need someone reliable every day for these trees, because this is a part, is like having pets. They need daily care. You cannot forget about them. I cannot put like an irrigation system and just go away for 2 weeks.
Like
that
500 little babies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so he does a really great job, because finally he understood the need of every single tree, because every tree has a different need, even if they are in the same location, even if they are the same species. But everyone works with his own timing and everything. So it's tough, but it's possible, and you can see it.
Yeah, now I've had a quick look around, and I'm going to take the camera around the garden in a minute. and I see a few species a lot and a few species hardly. You don't like deciduous broadleaf?
I like them, and I have many, but I was always focused on conifer. Pines, especially Mugo and Scots, are the trees that I feel the biggest attraction for what is my personal taste in terms of aesthetic. I like twisted trees, I like trees with a lot of character, and they are the two species where I can really show off my skill on creating something beautiful. There are, and I do, deciduous. I like them. I like to see the change of seasons through the. But also, my garden is very specific in terms of position. In this central part where is light basically all day. I have conifer, then I have taxus and some deciduous in another part, and the rest of the material in different locations, also according to how long they are collected. So that's basically my strategy.
Now, I saw you style quite a big pine in the trophy.
Yeah, I can show them.
Is the tree still here?
Oh, absolutely. There are two trees, the Mugo and the Scots are part of my collection, and I can even, actually, one we have here in front, the trophy, that was trophy 2020.
Yeah.
That was the Scotsman I styled in 2020, now is in a good bonsai pot and is maturing very well. Over there you can see the juniper. You remember the one, the procumbens that I grafted. Actually, we repotted in a bigger container yesterday. I want to, create a little bit more green. I was in a smaller container so the other day. And then behind us, there is the Mugo and the Scots that I will rework during winter. And probably the Mugo will go also in a final pot next year because the Mugo really both grew very well, but the Mugo really surprised me in terms of how much foliage it put out after the styling.
I think it would be very nice to have a look at it, because you of course know, we had a discussion on stage actually, whether styling a tree on stage is good for the tree and the risks that you go. And as a professional you need to balance on the one hand having a show, on the other hand the health of the tree. So it's always nice to see a tree 6 months later.
Yeah, I think was a very clever smart decision of the organization to again allowed me to bring my own material because I know what I get and they also know what they get in terms of beauty and a tree that is prepared for a certain part. And you can see here I have many materials that I prepare along the years to become a beautiful bonsai, and so I know when is the time to style them. And actually, end of February, early March is a great time to do styling, and here is still cold. That's why, for example, as soon as I bring both back, I put them in the cold frame behind us, so they can, a little bit be protected from cold wind especially. They haven't lost one single branch.
You mentioned winter, cold. We're of course in Italy, but we're also a little bit high up in the mountains. What is cold to you, and how do you handle your trees over winter?
So here we are at more or less between 350 and 500 meter above sea level, so not very high, but already here in the northern part we have mountains that get to 1,800, the first range, and then we have the highest range that is the highest ones, like 3,000 also, 2,800, 3,000. So winter, we get some days minus 10, minus 14.
Okay.
Yeah, during the night, and then during the day, minus 5. We get a couple of weeks that is always in negative digits. And during summer, we are lucky because we are in Italy, so there is this big difference, and it gets also to 40. We got some days to 42, but the other thing, living here in the middle of the mountain, we don't have that period that get into the flatland close to Venice, for example, when it's really hot also in the night. So this big change of temperature really helps the trees.
And you keep your trees just on their stands, or you put them down when it gets minus
so
10?
I will say 90% of the trees you see in the property, they stay out all year long, even the deciduous trees. Only my deciduous that are a little bit smaller, in smaller container, I put in a small greenhouse I have in the woods here. So the greenhouse is also protected from sun during winter, because that's the other problem. You don't want the greenhouse rising up the temperature. But let's say in total, probably between the 500 trees, I protect maybe 50 trees. The biggest enemy of trees in winter, especially for the deciduous, is the drastic change of temperature. We have a pretty steady winter here. When it gets to negative, it's gonna stay there. We don't have like Chicago, for example. My clients and students in Chicago have the problem, because one day is summer, one day is in winter. You know, you can have a summer day in the middle of winter, and then that is, you know, messing up all the trees. So that's why you need at least to sit the trees in a corner when they don't get to the sun, and they have a little bit of protection of the pots, because again, when the wind blows and maybe it's -10, you know, the frost can really damage the roots and the foliage. So, but I don't have that problem here.
It's funny because you're describing my garden with freestall. Yeah. Now, is there any tree that you would consider your favorite?
But for sure, the tree I'm gonna show this the next year at the trophy, Buddha, is one of my favorite. Is actually, I was still at university when I bought the tree, and it was already collected for more than 10 years from a gentleman that unfortunately passed away this year. And I always loved that tree. It's really I would say the fifth essence of bonsai for me. It has all the characteristics that I love in a tree. It's powerful, it's big, it's compact, the foliage really frame the tree perfectly. It expresses the strength of a tree against nature, and this is actually, you know, one of my favorite trees.
Okay. Now, any final thoughts that you want to give a general bonsai audience? If you have to say, well, do bonsai, think of?
But think of, be happy, first of all. We live, I mean, I live my life seeking for happiness. I want to be happy every single single day of my life. And bonsai make me happy, that's why I do bonsai. That's the main reason, you know. And if bonsai make you happy, you have to find any way to be able to do it, find any chance to get in touch with bonsai and bonsai people related, and then I can invite people to go at the shows, go at the trophy, go at your national show, help the clubs, help the bonsai community to grow, because these also indirect will help yourself, because I was always part of clubs. I was, you know, the president of the Italian Bonsai Association, and I always tried to do something to really encourage people to get into bonsai, because it's fun, it's cool, it's great.
Cool. I'm going to have a little look around in your garden, see which trees I can fit in my hand luggage and take home with me.
Hand luggage are difficult.
And I'll see you, I think, at the trophy again.
Yeah,
February.
Absolutely, I will be there.
Now, if there's people who say, this Mauro guy, Italy sounds nice. He seems to know what he's doing, he has cool trees. How do they reach out to you? What sort of courses do you offer?
I have a YouTube channel, Mauro Stemberger, Bonsai Dream. I have a
link below.
Exactly. I have, you can also put the link on my website, Bonsai Dream, Mauro Stemberger. In my website, you can find the information about my intensive classes. That is kind of the highlight of the place. We have the bed and breakfast here. The student stays at the bed and breakfast, and we do bonsai every day for 10 days, full immersion. So if someone wanna come, and you know, I do 2 intensive classes every year, one in March after the trophy actually, and one in the end of August, and you know, that's the best. And if you wanna just come and visit my garden, just find my phone number on WhatsApp and write me or send me an email, and we can get an appointment, and I can show you my babies.
And he's talking about his trees, but also the real babies if you're lucky on. Cool, Mauro. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you next time.
Welcome again.